Thank you. Okay. Can they see me?
No,
Okay.
we don't want to scare him, Steve.
No, we don't.
Gary, you can start the meeting whenever you're ready. It looks like we have about 39 people on so far.
Yeah, we're almost up to 40. That's good. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, everybody, welcome to the TAC meeting. We'll go ahead and get started here. Call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the Safe Routes to School. Grant will discuss the new State Routes to School application period and the new web page and crash tool. Then he'll also update us on the local road safety program.
All right, good morning, everybody. Yeah, to do a quick update about the Safe Routes to Schools, we recently actually updated our website because there's a new round of applications for Safe Routes to School are open starting on January 4th through March 5th. Head to the next slide. We did add a Safe Routes to School section on our website, which is under the transportation drop down to regional safety, and then it'll show up on the right there for Safe Routes to Schools. The website's got some little links that gives you some information, takes you to the ODOT website, stuff like that, so you can get some more information. I also created a tool in Tableau that allows you to select any school building within our counties, and then it will show you for the last 5 years all of the pedestrian and bicycle accidents that have occurred within the 2 miles that they look at for safe routes to schools, tell you how far they are within half-mile ranges, as well as actually it goes to, there's a category for slightly beyond 2 miles, which adds about a tenth of a mile on beyond that, just in case there might be some little errors with some of the exact locations, to be able to at least, those are ones you can look at and see if they're plotted in the right position. So the tool's up on our website, so it's there to help you for, hopefully it'll help you guys to apply for any of the safe routes to school stuff. Any questions about that?
Let me just jump in there. This is Ken. I would suggest that, you know, if once you go on and take a look at this tool that we put on our website here, please either reach out to myself or Grant personally. And if you have questions or how to navigate it, you know, please, Grant, I'm sure would be happy to sit down and walk you through it. So it's not very difficult, but again, something like this, it's a lot easier if Grant's there to help you, and we would offer that to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always available to talk about anything crash stuff.
Okay, doesn't look like there's any questions there, Grant, if you want to go on to the next item.
All right, so the next thing is the local road safety program. They've got a new round of applications open for having safety studies done. So previously we've applied for having a safety study of Glenwood Avenue through Broadband done, and the intersection of North Road and East Market and Warren done. And both of those studies are progressing right now. They're working on getting those completed, and they announced that they're going to do another safety study at the end of the year. So I've got less than a month to apply. Next slide. We're looking right now, we're going to probably apply for one of the locations off our high priority list. Those are the ones that we've been looking at. They get a increased chance of being done through their program if it's on our high priority list. If there's anybody out there has some roads they want also to be considered, at least, feel free to email me and let me know about it. And we'll be taking a look and getting something applied before the end of the year, and hopefully get another safety study done early next year. Any questions about that?
Grant, I saw, you know, one of the applications that you had there was East Market and North Road. What is the status of that?
They are working on developing it right now. The final date they're planning on having it completed is in February. I do not remember off the top of my head when they're planning on having more reviews of it. I believe that was January, but I'd have to go back and double check on the exact timeline on that.
Okay. Yeah, because I hadn't heard anything for a while. We gave a lot of initial feedback back in the summer. Haven't seen anything on that. Okay. Thank you, Grant.
Yeah, I've spoken to them about some other safety related stuff recently, and it's just been, they just said they've been working on it. So
Okay. Any other questions for Grant? Okay. Thank you, Grant. Okay. Next, Luke is going to present the time and delay study for the 5 Points Roundabout.
Good morning, everybody. So typically this would have been done in the beginning of 2020, but due to the pandemic, we had to push it back. So just a quick refresh. This is a map of the study corridor. The numbers and yellow dots are our starting points, and then the letters and the yellow dots, they were our endpoints. Justin, if you could go to the next slide. So here's just a before picture of the intersection. You can see on the left, there's a line of cars in that picture. So that's all taken care of now. Here we got an aerial of the intersection. You can go to the next slide, Justin. This is one of the project of the roundabout, what it looks like now. This was one of the options, and this is the one that they built. Go to the next one, Justin. This is all of the run times that we had. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I'm going to highlight the best runs and the worst runs for each one. So for 1-2, which is Western Reserve Road traveling eastbound, the best run was 42.24 seconds, and the worst time was 55.94 seconds. North Lima Road traveling north, which is 2-3, the best run was 15.92 seconds, and the worst time was 25.09 seconds. Springfield Road, which is 3-4, the best time was 19.10 seconds. The worst time was 26.61 seconds. Western Reserve traveling west, which is 4-5, was 27.98. That was the best run time, and the worst run time was 35.86. And then the last one, North Lima Road, or 5-1, the best time was 15.60, and the worst time was 20.92. So overall, really great run times. This roundabout, just you have to yield or stop if there's a car. You can go to the next slide, Justin. So this is the pre-construction. So what we did was we took all the times that were considered free flow, which means that, we didn't have to wait for another car. So the initial times for the free flow were 44 seconds, 23 seconds, 21, 28, and 17. So for the pre-construction, we only had 9 free flow runs. And then, post-construction, if you flip over to the next slide, Justin, there was 27 free flow runs. And, some of them, depending on how risky you are, if you want to cut off a car, going in a roundabout, which I don't suggest, you probably could have had some better runs, more free flow. But overall, the project was extremely successful in increasing traffic flow and decreasing delay. We've seen a line of cars and they, easily travel through that roundabout. So if anybody's down there, I recommend going through it. It's a great project, really successful. That's all I had. Any questions?
Okay, doesn't look like we have any questions. Thank you, Grant. Appreciate it. Or Luke, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, next Stephen's going to discuss the upcoming TIP projects. Stephen.
Thanks, Gary. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to go over real quick with everybody and let everyone know some upcoming projects for the rest of this fiscal year, and then getting into next fiscal year, kind of give an idea of what to look forward to. So first, just looking at fiscal 21 and 22 in Mahoning County, a few big projects. The Western Reserve Road one, everyone's aware of a lot of the work going on down there. If you've been through the area, and Luke just mentioned the roundabout, had some construction there. So now you're going right back into some construction west a little bit. So Justin, if you want to jump over to the next slide and just kind of let everyone see the map while I talk about them, that works. If you see the 4 darker green dots in the northeast corner there, that's all one project. Those are all of the Mahoning County bridge painting projects. This is a second phase. First phase was done 2 years back. So this is just restoring some of the old bridges. We have one down in Mill Creek Park, actually 2 down in Mill Creek Park, an Old Orchard Bridge restoration, and then the hike and bike trail. This is actually the second phase of that. There was some work done in the past couple of years, getting a trail off the road there. So that's that one. And then your last one up in the middle on the top is the Mahoning Avenue. It's the Mahoning County Engineer project, doing some resurfacing work. So a big section there and getting redone. If you want to jump over to the next slide, show everyone real quick. We have a lot more in Trumbull County to finish up this year and into next year. As always, when we program our TIP, we work towards a fair and equal distribution. Just so happens that for this little time period, we're seeing a little bit more projects in Trumbull County. Again, overall, we distribute it pretty evenly, both amongst our counties and amongst our communities. So you may see a large amount of projects here, but that doesn't mean we're showing any preferential treatment to anybody. It's just the way that it happened for this year. If you want to jump over to the next slide, let everyone see the map. Won't go over every project here, but I mean, you have a good collection of resurfacing jobs, which is usually the majority of what we do and what goes through our programs at Eastgate. A few of them worked in there are sidewalks, both sidewalk replacements and new sidewalk jobs. The sidewalks are tied to our transportation alternatives program. Just a quick reminder, if you weren't here for last month's TAC, we'll be looking at programming, receiving new applications for all three of our programs during calendar year 2021. Our CMAQ program will start first. You'll start hearing about that in January, February. And then our transportation alternatives program and our surface transportation block grant program, you'll hear about later in the spring. So just a quick plug there, reminder that all of these that you see here went through that process 2, 3, 4, 5 years back, some even longer than that. So just a quick reminder of everything you see. But yeah, that's essentially it. Just wanted to give you guys a rundown and show that we're still, getting through this pandemic. Everyone's still working towards getting these projects done. A shout out to all the locals, all the communities for getting their design work done early, getting it done on time. We haven't seen any issues with our budget, haven't seen any problems with people not getting their design done, not advancing to the next steps in the project. So everything you see here, we anticipate selling and we anticipate seeing in the next year and a half. If anybody has any questions.
Okay, I don't see any questions. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, next I believe Mark's going to update us on the broadband feasibility study.
Well, Mark couldn't be here today, so I'm going to
Okay.
do that for you. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Joanne.
No problem. Eastgate received funding from EDA and Power to perform a broadband feasibility study in Ashtabula, Mahoning, and Trumbull counties. A request for proposals was posted on September 21st with a submittal deadline of October 18th. Proposals were received and distributed to our selection team that was comprised of representatives from Eastgate Regional Council of Governments, Ashtabula County, Mahoning County, Trumbull County, Oak Hill Collaborative, Bright Energy Innovators, and the Western Reserve Port Authority. And we want to thank all of them for the time and effort they put into this. All the scoring was done and back to Eastgate by October 30th. After a comprehensive and thorough review that was quality-based, the scoring committee determined by unanimous vote to select the team of Ice Miller Whiteboard with MS Consultants as a sub to carry out the regional broadband feasibility study. So we have a timeline for it, which technology trends and review will already started actually, and will be finished on January 15th is what they're working towards. Policy analysis to be done the same date, along with service and infrastructure analysis and site analysis. The needs assessment and outreach will start January 1st and continue through the end of February. Utility foundation study will start mid-January, be done the beginning of March, along with the programming and finance evaluation. They plan on having the entire study done by June 1st of 21. So we'll keep giving you updates as we go along. We're having bi-weekly meetings at this time to make sure everything is up and running and everybody's on board and going in the right direction. And that's all I have. Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you, Joanne. Okay, moving on. Stephanie's going to update us on the Clean Ohio Fund round 15. Stephanie.
Hey, thank you, Gary. Good morning, everyone. Want to bring everybody up to speed on our round 15 of Clean Ohio. This round, we had approximately $3.3 million available for funding, and we had a little over 1.1 million requested in funds. So we still, if everything goes as planned with the NRAC review, we'll still have funding left over for, either an additional round or we'll roll it over into a new round. Next slide, please. So the 3 applications that were received were one from Mill Creek Metro Parks for Springfield Road Forest Preserve. The City of Struthers submitted their stream restoration portion of their Struthers Dam WRRSP project, which is pretty cool because it's the first one for Clean Ohio to see a WRRSP project come through for, a portion of it being funded. And lastly, the Village of Lowville submitted an application to develop a West Water Street Park. However, the Village of Lowville, after review, removed their project from the funding and is going to work on it for an additional round, which is pretty good. It was a really good project, so we're going to look forward to it in an upcoming round. Next slide, please. So just an overview of some of the projects. Mill Creek Metro Parks, their Springfield Forest Preserve is a land acquisition project. It will acquire and preserve 88 acres here in Springfield Township in Mahoning County. Total project cost is $392,575, and Clean Ohio funds requested is $294,431. City of Struthers, again, they are using their WRRSP funds as a match, as well as the LTV funding that Eastgate is administering towards the dam removal projects. The project itself, the stream restoration project, will restore over 3,000 linear feet of stream once the dam is removed. It is located, obviously, within the city of Struthers. Total project cost overall is $1.4 million, and Clean Ohio funds requested is only $831,900. And as I mentioned earlier, the West Water Street Park, after reviewing the application and talking with the applicant's engineer, the project was removed and will be worked on for an addition for the next funding round. So just wanted to let everyone know the next phase, after the completeness review that we had last week, all the information or clarifications that were needed are back to me now, and I will be putting the applications together for NRAC review and to submit to them and for their review. So the next item on the agenda is on January 8th of next year, the applicants will come before the NRAC virtually and do either a presentation or just have a discussion with the NRAC members about the project. So this is a chance for the NRAC members to meet one-on-one, in this case virtually, with the applicants and ask them any types of questions that they have. And it also gives the applicant a chance to highlight some of the outstanding items within their application that you couldn't normally fit into writing in the application itself. And then once that's said and done, the NRAC members will meet again on January 22nd of next year to vote on which applications to send down to OPWC for their final blessing. And that is all I have for round 15 of the Clean Ohio program.
Okay, I don't see any questions. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have Ed with the OPWC program.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The District 6 Public Works Integrating Committee met just 2 days ago to finalize this round of funding. They confirmed all the points for 54 projects, and they drew a cutoff, a funding cutoff at 72 points, and that is for grant funding. All 100% loan projects will be included also. So there's 46 projects that will receive funding this next round. Grant total is $9.45 million. Loan total is $1.85 million. The committee also selected 2 small government projects to be sent to Columbus for possible funding in the springtime. Of all the projects, there were only 6 that were unfunded this year. Next steps, the final application will be due January 15th. This year, that application needs to be submitted electronically. So the communities will have to download the final application, fill it out, and scan it and send it back to me by January 15th. This gives the communities a month and a half to get their legislation done. Other items that are needed with the final application on top of the legislation is the CFO letter, the engineer's estimate, the useful life statement, the map, in a cooperative agreement if it's a joint project. So if anybody has any questions about what's needed, please contact me. And if anybody wants to see the final table of all the projects, I can send it to them too. So just shoot me an email. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, Ed, is that posted on the website?
No, it's not, but we can do that.
Okay.
But they have to remember that the table will change when the projects get separated into SCIP and LTIP categories. Because right now it's just a list of the funded projects, but they need to know that when the projects are submitted to Columbus, that's when they'll be separated into SCIP and LTIP.
Okay. Thank you, Ed. I don't see any questions. Okay, that's the end of all of our program reports. So, Jim, Executive Director's report.
Great. Thank you, Gary. Just a couple of comments. First, I want to recognize the staff for continuing to move us forward as we work remotely in these challenging times. You can see all the programs and the funding and the projects are all continuing as if we were all in the office, and it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge for everybody, certainly our communities also, but it's good to know that business is continuing and hopefully better days are ahead. Really also want to thank the communities that are involved with our programs, the OPWC, the Clean Ohio, TACT, everybody. The participation today is 48 people in general policy. And just we've also asked and called on partners to be part of some of these evaluations when we talk about the feasibility study and other initiatives that we move forward. So it's great that we have that involvement and we need that involvement to be successful. And I want to thank everybody. Our office, we've moved forward in the last couple of weeks here to completely close the office where we don't allow in-person meetings at all. We were having a few of those, but recognizing the rise in COVID and following the initiatives from Governor DeWine and his administration, we've canceled all in-person meetings and we'll work remotely until we get to, again, better days, hopefully in the new year. So we'll continue to operate, but those are the restrictions that are placed on us and we're going to adhere to those. I just wanted to touch a little bit real quick on the broadband feasibility study that Joanne talked about. We're actually going to meet with that consulting team next week to finalize the contract, but really to make sure that we're diving deep into the cities and the communities that we want to on getting the results that we need. We've had good input from a couple of the communities in the counties, and we're going to clarify that position, but it's all good as we move forward. Again, we're going to be aggressive with the results 6 to 9 months out, intermediate reports so we can see and look for additional funding sources. As we said from day one, I believe there's money for some of these initiatives, but you have to have a plan to attract that kind of money, and we're going to have that plan here very shortly. So looking forward to that study that reaches all 3 of our counties. Quick update on the Ohio Traffic Safety Council that Governor DeWine's administration is moving forward. I'm a member. I've volunteered to be part of the distracted driving subcommittee. There are 3 subcommittees: impaired driving, distracted driving, and young drivers. They're going to meet, the subcommittees will meet every couple of weeks with report to the quarterly meetings of the actual safety council and hopefully have some results or some solutions that we can work towards by the end of the year. And then 2 other things. There's a Drive Ohio Alliance meeting this afternoon that I'll participate in, that we're going to talk about different initiatives as the Drive Ohio team continues to move forward with electrification of vehicles. As everybody knows, they're great partners with us on the Smart 2 network and continuing to be partners and players with us as we advance the Lordstown initiative. So looking forward to next meeting reporting back some of those findings. I had a great conversation with the workforce development team at YSU this morning on some of their initiatives they're talking about with LG Chem and some of the supply chain companies that are going to relocate in that vicinity, in that area. Our focus is on that workforce development and then reaching out to WRTA and continuing to make sure we have transit service for those types of workers as we go forward. So just trying to share just a kind of a quick update of what we're touching. Again, I think it summarizes that we're working, continue to be aggressive in our work, even in these challenging times. Appreciate everybody's support. And I hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday, as is our last meeting until we get into the new year. So stay well, everybody, and thanks for your continued support of our agency. Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Very good. Okay, now there are no general policy board resolutions for passage. So now we're down to announcements. Does anybody have any announcements to come before the committee? Okay, yeah, I don't see any announcements. Any questions for any of the staff? Okay, I don't see any. Everybody have a happy holiday season. And just remember, Thursday, January 7th is our next meeting. At that meeting, we're going to be nominating and electing the 2021 TAC officials. So please, everybody, we had a great attendance today, and hopefully we'll have the same support in the new year. So see everybody next year.
Thank Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Holiday.